Alright, I'm gonna further go into detail about killing innovation, that Common Core kills innovation. So, I have a quote from David Green. He taught social studies for 38 years, and he presently quit because of Common Core, and presently is a program consultant for WISE Services and treasurer of Save Our Schools. He stated that good and great teachers leave and are replaced by new and cheap workers more willing to follow foolproof, factory-like, prescribed lesson plans. In fact, the average teaching tenure has dropped from approximately 15 years of service in 1990 to less than 5 in 2013. Moving on to children, he also states that I once saw an 8th grader who was on the verge of being tossed out of his middle school, even though he was one of the brightest kids there. When asked why he was failing, he said, "Why should I be doing the same freaking thing since I was in 3rd grade?" Another student I heard about could comprehend the whole Harry Potter series before she was 11 and read 2 novels a week, yet she thinks she sucks at English because she is more nuanced in her thinking than the questions on standardized tests allow. She learned to hate reading. I would like to move on into violates principal rights. To the state, a quote I have from Ali Bidwell, an education and science reporter for U.S. News, states that State Senator of Indiana, Scott Snyder, the author of Indiana's law, Common Core threatens our high standards and our ability to determine as a state what our students need to learn to be prepared for a successful future. With the federal government's involvement pushing states to adopt the standards, this is no longer a state-led initiative, and Indiana has lost its ability to set its own education policy. My opponent stated that we should push our students more because of the high standards. Diane Ravitch from the Why So Many Grants a Common Core from CNN states that only 31% of the state students in grades 3rd through 8th passed or exceeded the new tests. Among students who are English language learners, only 3% passed for English standards. Among students with disabilities, only 5%, and of minorities, only 20% passed. Now, this high failure rate isn't because the students are uneducated, but because the state chose to set an unrealistic passing mark. Now, the state commissioner, before even testing any of these students, already knew that only 30% were going to pass, and that they set this passing mark. Now, moving on to stating that it's too fast, the New York State United Teachers Common Core moving too fast on testing. That educated officials have said that new tests will include more challenging reading passages, 3 or 4 step math problems, and more difficult open-ended questions. The NYSUT Polling Center surveyed more than 1,600 teachers in November, supported by a similar survey conducted by the United Federation of Teachers in New York City. It shows too many students may not be ready for the new tests. 2/3 of educators said the state was moving too fast. Many reported a disturbing lack of professional development, instructional guidance, appropriate materials, or time to implement instructional changes. My opponent said that we should give it a shot. We should be open to the possibilities. Now, in order to find that out, we would have to wait 13 years, a whole school year cycle, to see what the comparisons are. 13 years is a long time. It is a whole school year cycle, and the United States, is the United States willing to risk billions of dollars gone to waste, or even risking damaging the mental learning process of the students? Thank you.